too much leftover cheese. That's no Gouda, or is it? Hey, happy Cheese Friday, everyone. So, I'm back from Keto Palooza, and at Keto Palooza, I had a lot of stuff. I showed you the cheeses I was taking, but a lot of people went to the Brazilian steakhouse, and so we didn't eat through quite as much cheese as we have in some years. So I couldn't really justify going out and buying another block of cheese when I have an entire drawer full. Way more cheese than I normally keep on hand at a time. But I thought maybe this is time to revisit cheese sauce. We've made it before, but it's been maybe a year and a half. And so I'm going to walk you through 4-cheese cheese sauce. I had to see what I put in here. I chunked up my red Leicester from Snowdonia. I shredded up the block of the leftover of the Parmesan. I've got regular Gouda, and then also Tillamook medium cheddar. In this cup, I've got 2 cups of heavy cream, and I'm going to pour this right into my skillet. And then let me pop the heat on. And I'm making a lot of cheese sauce, and that's good because we'll just use it on a bunch of things throughout the rest of this week. So what we need to do now is to let this cream come to a boil, but we need to also add a few seasonings to it. Critical to good cheese sauce is mustard powder. You just take your whole mustard seed, and you blend it up. And that's something that people forget, but the mustard powder adds a certain something to cheese sauce when you're making it from scratch. So it's actually a critical ingredient. And as we get this going, we can start mixing it up. Don't worry if it's not 100% broken up or whatever as we bring this to a quick boil. My cream came straight out of the fridge, so it may take a couple extra minutes, but we can chat through it. The other thing I'm going to add is salt and pepper. Remember that cheese is salty, so you don't need a ton, but you do still need some. And we're going to add even more salt to it. Salt is sort of a really big key to good cheese sauce. So already I've got the steam coming up from my milk because my electric skillet is super fast. You want to make sure that you get it to a boil, but you don't want it scalding or burning to the bottom, so you have to keep it moving. Now, here's the thing. When we're making our cheese sauce, it might get too thick, in which case I probably need to add some additional water. And I'm going to take a pause here real quick while I grab some. Let me find, let's see. I know I have a cup here, yeah, for the blender bottle. Let me just in case we need some. That'll be more than enough. But okay, so I've got my cream burbling, and now here is the big trick to a homemade cheese sauce without using any starch or anything like that, and that is this miracle little powder here, sodium citrate. Sodium citrate is the salt. It acts similar to the citric acid, and what it does is we're going to use maybe a little over half a teaspoon because I'm making quite a lot. And we need to mix this in and make sure that it melts completely into the dairy before we start adding in our cheese. But what it does is the way the sodium citrate works is that it breaks down the calcium that keeps the cheese clumpy. So if you don't have something like that, or you're trying to make your traditional cheese sauce, you'll notice that the fat will separate and it'll get greasy and lumpy. This stops that. This is what gives you that ultra smooth nacho cheesy sort of thing. From here, Now we just start adding our cheese. Yes, by the way, with the Parmesan Reggiano, I did in fact use the rind. I especially like having the extra red Leicester, and you can see right in here that I left it in big lumps. That's fine, it's gonna break down, but basically, I guess I'm just adding it all. That's probably too much cheese for this sauce, but that's why we have our water to bring it down. But what's gonna happen now is that it's gonna react with those proteins and begin melting it down into our sauce. And we just have to keep an eye on it to make sure that we, I don't know, that's basically it. I mean, how simple was that? That's why I said we could, that's why I decided I could do this on Cheese Friday. Other things you could do is at this point is go ahead and mix in your chorizo crumbles or your pickled jalapenos or some chili powder or chili flakes. All of those things. I will tell you, don't microwave it to reheat, because obviously this is not, I'm not going to sit down and eat all of this in one go. Don't microwave it. You just put it in your pan and you warm it back up. If you microwave it, it will separate, but if you warm it up slowly in the pan, it will not. And I hope that you're seeing this. My lumps of cheese are disappearing and it is becoming smooth and creamy. Just right. We're going to keep it going a little bit because I still got some of that red Leicester to break up. But even that, it's just totally becoming nice and creamy. So that's the key here with this cheese sauce and the magic of sodium citrate. And yes, it's not a necessary thing to have. You don't have to do it this way. But as you can see, this was stupid easy. No muss, no fuss. Super, super easy. And I will tell you, a lot of recipes, instead of the cream, will tell you you can just use water. The cream or any dairy that you use is going to make the cheese sauce the right flavor. The water really takes away. Also, the sodium citrate adds just a touch of sourness that really helps out nicely. I have a couple stray shreds. I'm going to throw them in here real quick. So it just, it makes a huge difference. Wow, I probably could have even added a little more cheese here. It's not quite as thick as I might have it sometimes, but as I let it sit here and continue reducing, it'll be just right. But you can see 100% smooth. There's no lumps left, absolutely, and no breaking up of the cream or anything like that. And all I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to just let it sit for a couple minutes and keep stirring it. And then I have some leftover cauli rice and smoked chicken that I have warmed up in my bowl for my meal. I'm going to put this cheese sauce over it and then store the rest in the fridge, and easy peasy, good to go. So happy Cheese Friday, you guys. It wouldn't be Cheese Friday if we don't taste it, right? Let me throw some here, decide how much I want. So I hope that you guys can see how perfect it is. It's absolutely delightful. And I think you can see when I scoop it, it leaves a trail and then it very slowly closes up. So it's perfection. That's probably enough cheese sauce, but I just really enjoy it and like to hold on to it. Don't fall into the cheese sauce spoon. You know how spoons do that. So let's give it a little taste. Oh, so cheesy. So there you go. Happy Cheese Friday. Welcome back from convention for those of you who have managed to survive the week after being at a convention where we had a lot of high emotion. Hopefully you're coming out of the convention blues and now you have a little something else for the weekend. So you have a great one. I think that you all are doing super amazing, and I look forward to talking to you again soon and sharing some more recipes with you, or talking about some self-care, or the fact that my very favorite holiday is coming up, Halloween. Ooh. So, which reminds me, there's a collab coming up, and in 2 days' time, We will have the Sunday coffee talk. I've got a new little device to share with you, but also we're gonna try out Javi thanks to for your enjoyment. And what else do we have? Oh, that's right. This cauli rice that came from the Galt. Everybody talks about it and really enjoys it. I've made a couple tweaks to improve it just a smidge more, but I've got the recipe for you. So we will have ourselves a cauli rice copycat of the Galt Brunch cauli rice. So happy Cheese Friday. You have a great one, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.